First of all, food-wise, we do new American bistro food, local produce. We keep it organic when we can. Some Dutch influences due to my heritage, which is real important to me, a little too important sometimes. Fresh food, friendly service, that's kind of what we're all about. I think we're often the first place where people can try things like sweetbreads or where they'll try escargot for the first time. I like the romance of the people walking in the door. It's kind of like you're coming to our house for dinner, you bring the wine, and that's kind of works for us. We like to make it like you're coming to our home for dinner, so you kind of get to know people, you start to build these relationships in the neighborhood. Somebody said that our food is like your grandmother would cook if she had gone to culinary school, and that's kind of one of the nicest compliments we've ever had.
So Karen, you say that Chef Jean-Carl over at HB Bistro has cooked up an amazing restaurant. Tell us why you chose it.
Absolutely. HB is the perfect example of why good things come in small packages. It's a cozy little restaurant with a warm environment and quotes about food all over the walls to sort of whet your appetite. And the food is really what shines at HB. Jean-Carl, it's like eating at the home of a friend who is an amazing cook, like eating at the home of Julia Childs. I always get basically the same things when I'm there because they're so good. The artichoke fritters are second to none. The almond stuffed dates are phenomenal. They're wrapped in bacon, and don't we know that anything wrapped in bacon is great? You know, the menu's always changing based on the season and what's fresh, but I always think you can't go wrong with their Amsterdam-style mussels. And they're served in this big bowl. They're piping hot and fresh. And this broth is really ale-y and warm, and they're served alongside just a monstrous portion of fries. And you can just sort of have your little assembly line of fry to broth to mouth.
And you could dipping and dotting and having a good time.
Absolutely.
Tommy, your work takes you to Amsterdam quite a bit, and Chef Jean-Carl is actually first-generation Dutch. Did this remind you were, sitting there in a cafe in Amsterdam?
It is. It really is. I even thought Amsterdam style. And the mussels, there's one particular thing that really hit the nail on the head as far as the real Amsterdamer flavor. It's the scent that comes from the broth. There is a little bit of star anise in the broth. And it smells kind of like Pernod or anisette or ouzo. So you get this beautiful aroma that comes. So when the mussels came, I do this.
You feel like you're in Europe.
And the frites are really good.
Oh, gosh.
And you can judge this place by their frites.
Absolutely. I mean, they're really like drugs. I think about them at night, and when I order them, I cannot stop but eating the entire thing. I mean, they're so amazing.
Well, Dave, what'd you think?
Oh, man, it's a throwback. I've been in Belgium and out in Amsterdam, and it was like one of the perfect little dining cafes, not the coffee house. But I will tell you that the fries, the frites with the truffle mayonnaise and the truffle oil were killer. I had the escargot. Boy, he did that right. But it's nice and warm inside, and it reminds me of a lot of the European-style restaurants. And it's extremely lively in there. You get there, I was there, it was kind of quiet, and it filled in slowly.
Yeah.
And then you can feel the energy build.
So, Karen, this place is BYOB, and you and your husband love wine quite a bit. So what would you recommend you bring to HB Bistro?
Well, I think HB is unique among BYOBs in that the food is scrumptious enough to stand up against the best of wine. So if you travel a lot like my husband and I do, and you went to that special winery out in something where, and you have that bottle you've been saving, bring it to HB, because the food and the wine together will give you just the most phenomenal experience.
Tommy, give us a sense for the neighborhood. It's a very lively part of town.
Yeah, it's a boisterous atmosphere. It's in a diverse neighborhood. It's kind of at the epicenter of a nightclub scene. So going into the neighborhood, there's a lot of people watching. There's a lot of interesting traffic to watch out of the front window from the restaurant, too.
It is. It's like dinner with a show. If you get one of those two front tables, you can you don't even have to talk to the person you're with.
I've sat at the
watch.
table in the window, and it's really, truly a parade of everything that you can imagine going up and down the street. It's loud, but it's also kind of sexy in there, too, I think. So you can have it's a good place to go for a nice date, I think.
What was the service like?
Oh, service was great. The hostess, Deanne, she was extremely friendly. And I can torture people sometimes with my stories and so forth, but she was really good.
There's 2 entree specials tonight I wanted to make you aware of. We have a bouillabaisse special. It's a shellfish stew made with little neck clams and mussels and tiger shrimp and a white wine broth.
It was unbelievable, the type of service for the, I didn't expect that. It kind of blew me away.
Karen, did you ever go to the restaurant when it was part of the Hardy Boys empire?
That's actually why I originally went to the restaurant. I, like many people, was starstruck by the Hardy Boys, who, these local Chicago boys now have their own TV show. And so that's what sort of drew me to the restaurant at first. And then after it was sold to John Carl, I realized, well, the appeal wasn't the Hardy Boys, it was John Carl. He was the one that was making all the fabulous food in the kitchen.
So Tommy, you said you had a dessert that you said was 1 a.m. good.
The waiter brings out a piece of bread pudding that's bigger than my head.
They're
it
big.
was so big, but you know what? I had a couple of bites and I thought, I can't have it anymore. But it is the kind of a dessert that
I ate the
at
whole
1
thing.
a.m., gone.
All right, Karen, you pick HB Summit up for us.
Warm environment, cozy restaurant, phenomenal food, and wine, your favorite wine, selected by you.
Dave?
Great food, nice cozy atmosphere, BYOB you can't beat, and just an overall refreshing place to eat.
All right, and Tommy?
It's a quick trip to Amsterdam. And if you feel like you want to have some fun and a nice sexy date or anniversary party, this is a really nice jovial place to go. It'll put you in a good mood.
All right, well, you can try the mussels and much more at HB Home Bistro, 3404 North Halsted, 773-661-0299. They're open for dinner Wednesday through Saturday, brunch and dinner on Sunday. Reservations are accepted, alcohol is BYOB, and the average tab per person is $30.